as a dungeon master, when you're playing an NPC, you don't need to do anything special. Just tell the players what they say and go from there. All this stuff that Brendan Lee Mulligan does and Matt Mercer does, it's bullshit. You don't need to do it. But we want to, because we want our PCs to sound amazing. So, well, here's a couple things you might want to do or consider when playing an NPC, or even as a player when playing your character. Now, I'm not a voice actor, never have been. I've been in sales for a long time. I use my voice, and I study communication and human behavior. So I have a little bit of knowledge when it comes to this, but here's the bottom line. When I play characters on my table, the things that I use really don't have anything to do with acting. They have to do with everything that I've learned and tried over the years, and I am not a voice actor. So this is what I want to share with you, the things that I do just to have fun at the table. I am a bad actor, but we have a lot of fun. And so from a non-actor to non-actors, here's some things you can do to start getting out of your shell, because that's the real goal. The real goal is getting out of our shell when it comes to playing our characters and NPCs. Here are things I use to help me do that. The first thing that I do when I'm playing as a character or an NPC is I play with my voice. This is not an accent. This is slowing it down, changing the cadence at which one speaks. Taking a second and actually enunciating every single word and letter to the T. You can take things and you can change the way that your mouth is shaped to actually give yourself a different sound. Now, you can say this is an accent, but all I'm doing is playing with my voice. I can take my voice and drop it down, or I can talk in this nasally feeling, and I can get up here in the top of my head, and I can talk like this. If you play with your voice, and eventually you'll find things that really resonate with you. For me, there's certain characters that actually come. As the crow flies through the air, you see things that you've never seen before. Playing with my voice is fun to do. It can help you, and you'll start to find voices that you want to use with your characters. But if you never play with your voice, you never find what really feels good for you. A lot of people, when they think of voice acting, try to go and do something specific. Crow flying, advantages of outdoors. We have ambience. The thing is that when you're using your voice, you have to play with things to find out what's good for you. If you never do that, you're never going to find out what's okay and what's actually successful when it comes to you. If you try to do an accent, you'll always be kind of hindered. You'll stop actually trying to do the accent because it doesn't sound right. I don't do accents. Even when I tried to do a Scottish accent, I don't really care. I'm not talking about a Scottish accent. This is how the person talks. It's not a Scottish accent. It's not Irish. It's not anything. I'm just playing with the voice, and that's how the character goes. You can do accents, and they don't have to be real because we're talking about a fantasy game. We are using the things that we hear in this world and applying them to our voice. Give it a shot. Tell me what you think. Yeah, do that. When playing a character, use your body. If your character is pompous and stuck up, look at your table. Look down at them. Look over, right? If they are open, be open. Open your body. They're crafty, right? It just looks like I'm doing poses, but it changes the demeanor at which I talk. If you're using your body to help get into character, which is a later tip, you can actually help enforce what you're doing with your voice. If you've got someone that's shifty, right? I don't like what you're doing here. I can close my body off. I can look around. I'm playing as a character by utilizing the space around me, right? If I'm aggressive, I can lean in. Listen here, lean in the table, put your hands out, right? Point. There's ways to do things that you can basically be in that character, use the body, use the space around you. It helps you actually get that voice right, get the intonation right. If someone is angry, how do they look when they're angry? What do they do with their hands? I look like a moron, but that's okay because you get the picture. It's fun to do, but you have to get outside of yourself and be ready. I'm standing, there's a parking lot on the other side of me. There are people showing up to my work right now, and I'm sitting here waving my hands around. It's fun to do, and once you get good at it, you'll no longer be self-conscious. So give it a shot. Use your body. It's a lot of fun, and you can come up with some great characters too. The other thing is facial expressions. Now, when you're trying to get and do facial expressions, what I'm talking about is basically kind of doing the thing where, you'll look to the side of people, or you'll, smile, or you'll frown. Do what you can do. My face is not very expressive when I'm trying to do it, but use that to help get your voice too. When you want to be quiet, how do you look? How do you squint? Do you squint? When you want to be regal, open your eyes, which is difficult for me right now because right now I've got the sun in my eyes. But you can tilt your head, you can look, you can squint. Use your facial expressions and exaggerate what you think the character should be doing. It helps with your voice. I am horrible at this. I don't do it. I can't show you on the camera. but the least I can do is tell you what I try to do to help me influence the voice, to help me understand the character. I think I'm squinting, I think I'm looking, I think I'm being serious. And my players are like, what are you constipated? It happens, and you'll have fun doing it. So keep that in mind. My fourth tip to actually help you play characters is be the character. How does your character feel? How does your character see? When you're sitting at the table, are you looking around? Are you looking over your shoulders? Because remember, we are that character. If I'm playing the rogue and I'm playing someone that's always concerned about all the people around me, I'm always looking, I'm always asking questions. Is there anyone within earshot of me? I'm looking over my shoulders. When you sit at the table and do that, it brings nuance to your character, especially as a dungeon master. As a dungeon master, if you have someone that's regal, be the character. I don't think that you know who you're dealing with. This is my town, and no one just comes into my town and starts asking around without my permission. So if you want something, you come to me. Do you understand? I pretend to be that character for that moment, and it helps me just convey the messaging of that NPC. It makes them a little bit more memorable. One of my characters is more laid back. I was sitting back in his chair. I'm not, this is just not for me. And the thing is, it was no different than my other voice. I'm like, I just don't care if we're here, guys. Let's just move on. My posture was relaxed. And then what would happen is when things would be intense, all of a sudden I would lean up over the table, right? I'd put my hands on the table. I would use my body and be that character. How would they be responding in that moment? How would they respond to the situations? And I let it influence me. So just remember, be the character. Act as if they would act if their motivations were in the situation. And the fifth thing that I always say when it comes to acting as a character in NPC, act with purpose. Now, this is not about your voice. This is not about your body. This is not about all the things that I said to try and do that makes you feel weird and act stupid. And if you go watch this whole video, you see me doing a lot of this. The bottom line is be the character. Act the way that they would act in the situation. Put them in the situation. If you have a fighter that stands up to protect people, how are they acting in the situation when there's people around them that are saying, are they standing like this trying to protect them? Everyone stand back, get back, right? Or are they the person that slinks stuff to the side, and turns themselves sideways, right? There's ways to think about what's the purpose of my character? What am I trying to do? What is their motivation? And I know that sounds very method acting style, but it will help you actually develop your characters by trying to be in that moment. Act with a singular purpose. What would their purpose and goal be in this moment? I'm not talking about their goals in life. I'm talking about the moment that the druid is in nature and they find something interesting. All of a sudden, are they consumed with looking at that and the players are being annoyed by the fact that the druid's not coming along and they're like, no, we need to know what this mushroom is because that mushroom could be a trip and I've never seen it before and I'm willing to try it, right? You guys know the player, you know the character. And the thing is that when you act with those motivations, those purposes, it rounds out your character. Even when those motivations and purposes are singular, it really gives your NPCs and players direction. So guys, this was a fun video for me to shoot. I hope you found it entertaining, if nothing less informative on how to do some things that I like to do at my table to help me become a better actor. I am never going to be an actor. I don't want to be an actor. I like being a dungeon master, but I like for my players to remember the NPCs they come up with. And while yes, I do use voices, I also use mannerisms. I allow those mannerisms to change the person they're talking to. Someone who's confident, that doesn't allow the players to step over their toes, stands wide, protects his domain from the players because the players are just adventurers coming into his space. Or it's the rogue that needs something. I need you guys to really go click the subscribe button, click that notification bell so you can support our channel. And I promise we'll make more of this content. We'll see you guys next time.